guys, Rebecca here. We're going to talk about design for Mosaic today. I just started my classes at the Creative Arts Center in Dallas, and I've got some brand new students, and they're starting to think about what they're going to do for their main project. In my classes, I start people off all on the same very small project because I find it's kind of daunting to come into a class and like suddenly have to dive into your main piece, and you've got to teach cutting basics and all of that, and I like to do that on a piece that I tell people you can love this or you can throw it in the trash. I don't care. This is just a sample. It also relaxes them because they're not on the spot to like create a masterpiece. I let them know that this is just a sample, this is just to learn basics and relax. So anyway, because I took my first Mosaic class in 2007 from Katrina Doran. She's a fabulous teacher. But I had that experience of sitting down like in front of the blank canvas, in a painting class or something. In this class, I was like, we just started our mosaics. I had no idea going into the class what I wanted to do. I hadn't even studied mosaics that much. I hadn't gone online and looked at ideas. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And because I'm an artist, I'd been sketching octopus and squid the previous week. I'd just been dabbling and doing some little watercolors and drawings, and so I had octopus on my mind, and so this is my first mosaic. It's not perfect, it's not great, but I still have it hanging on my wall. I still love it. It's very simple, very basic. A lot of squares, square. But the design's kind of nice. You get this big shape here. But anyway, so that's what I did. So in helping folks think about design, I realized I needed to do a little more lecture than I was able to do last night. And I don't like cutting into people's work time with too much blah blah, so I'm making these videos to send out to my students in between classes to give them something to think about. So, design. You can do abstract art or figurative art. Abstract art is a little harder because you don't have a target in mind. With figurative art, you're copying from a photo, you're copying from real life, you're trying to do a portrait, you're trying to do a landscape, a flower, something real that exists in the world, right? With abstract art, you're just dealing with the design basics. You're dealing with shape and line and value and texture, repetition, all that stuff. You're trying to create a composition just with the design elements, and it's harder. It can be very hard. I actually started my students with an abstract, which is even my experienced people, I think, struggle with abstract design. So it's good for them. It's good for them to have to think about those elements as they put together something. So abstract versus figurative. I have two samples of mosaic art to show that. This is by Kim Wozniak. I bought this at auction. It's got C-spines, and she works a lot with this concrete forms that she makes. It's very cool. C-spines and smalty in the center. I love this. I collect both types of mosaic, and I do both types of mosaic. This is by Donna Van Hooser. It's a little blue fox. I also got this at auction. I love this piece. She works a lot with stained glass, and this is very graphic. She wasn't trying to do a realistic portrait of a fox. It's a more fun little, very graphic, very fun mosaic. So there's two examples of that. So do you want to do abstract or do you want to do figurative? Both have their own set of challenges. Now, the other thing to think about is, do you want to do something functional or something that's just more a work of art, something that's just going to hang on the wall and you're going to look at it and admire it? Functional art in mosaics can be a stepping stone. You're going to walk on it, doing a frame, just going to Michael's and getting a raw wood frame and covering the outside of the frame, and you're going to put a picture in it. The other day I was pricing new nightstands, and I did my first piece of furniture. I didn't want to invest in a new nightstand, so I covered my existing IKEA nightstand that I've had 100 years with stained glass, and that was my solution for that. So anyway, there are kind of two ways to go in mosaic if you're just wanting to create something that's going to hang on the wall. You can do kind of what I would call a painting with glass or with tile, where you are trying to You take a cradle board, which is this wood. You can get these at Azel's locally in Dallas, or you can get them at Dick Blick, Rex Art, Jerry's Artorama, I think might have them. Ooh, I need to dust this. Where you are trying to just use the glass to paint a picture. This is the hardest, in my opinion, especially portraits are one of the hardest things to do in Mosaic, is to just try to paint an image, paint something like this. This is hard. I was trying very much to capture my husband, and I like this. It was fun. I haven't done another one since. The other thing you can do in Mosaic is get substrates and decorate them, basically. And this is a lot easier for a new student. You get a wooden form and you put tile or glass or whatever on it. This is a lot easier as a first project because no matter what you do to this, it's still going to look like a butterfly because it's got the shape. You kind of can't go wrong with that. I highly encourage this as a first project, that sort of thing. I'll show you a couple shapes that have been done. This is a skull I did, Day of the Dead piece, and this little guy was done by a student of mine, Jan Thomas, student and friend, and the back of it is metal instead of wood. It's really nice. She works a lot with dishes, and I love this little guy. So basically, you know, you're choosing materials to cover the wood form with. And you can also get, like I said, unfinished frames or like trays, things like that. That is one of the easiest ways to get started in Mosaic because you're not trying to paint a picture from scratch. So that is my design thing, my design lecture. Is think about, do you want it to function or do you just want it to be a pretty thing? Do you want to do abstract? Do you want to do something more figurative? And then where do you get your ideas? You can go on Pinterest to get ideas. You can look at paintings. You can look at drawings. You can look at other people's mosaic work. But I don't want anybody coming into class with a picture of somebody's mosaic work and going, I want to do this, because that's already been done. You know, if you want that, go to the artist and ask them if it's for sale, because they really wouldn't be too keen on you just copying their work. Now, when it comes to copyrights, you have to really respect other people's property. Now, if it's somebody dead like Van Gogh and you want to do Starry Night, okay, you can do that. You can copy the masters. Nobody's rolling over in their grave worrying about that. It's still, I don't think, as fun a design challenge as coming up with your own design and your own idea. And I know if you don't have an art background, that might be challenging. And people are like, well, how do I do that? Well, you do that by first having an idea. I want to do a flower mosaic. Okay, go look at flower mosaics. Yes. Go look at what people have done. But don't come in with a picture of yellow chrysanthemums against, you know, a blue background and go, I'm going to do this. No. Figure out what you like about that person's work. Is it their color sense? Is it the yellow and blue that's exciting you? Well, maybe you're going to do yellow daisies against a blue background, or maybe you're going to do yellow roses. Maybe you're actually going to switch gears and do a yellow butterfly against a blue background. What is it about that person's work that's drawing you in? Is it the materials they chose? Well, maybe you work with those materials. But if you know you want to do a butterfly, look at a bunch of butterflies and take pieces of this one and pieces of that one. What do you like about that one? What do you like about that one? So once you've looked at a bunch of ideas, it's time to get the pencil out and a piece of paper and start sketching your own ideas. And I know, 9 out of 10 students will tell me, I can't draw. Well, you're not trying to do shading and draw something incredible. These are just rough sketches to put some ideas on paper. And if you really have a phobia against the pencil, then get out some paper and some scissors and collage something together to get those design ideas down. Or go take a bunch of photos at the Arboretum and get out in nature and then print those photos out and cut those out. Put put them on your thing, just to try to get some design ideas down on the page. And then you can start designing. And a lot of people will just kind of design with the materials, and that's acceptable. But if you have a basic composition in mind, you're going to be more successful in the end, and you create those compositions with pencil and paper. So that is Design 101. Look below in the description. I've included online resources for wood shapes, cradle boards, and all that good stuff, so you know where to go to get your substrates. And if you like the video, hit subscribe and follow along. I have a lot of tutorials on this channel. Have a good day.